How do I pronounce your first name?
Thao.
Tao.
Thao.
Uh, well, how are you? Happy Monday. How do we know each
Happy
other?
Happy Tuesday. We have no, we haven't. I'm new to Better Life Tribe. I'm from Australia.
Oh, it's Tuesday where you are. Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday morning, 8:30.
Damn. Okay.
So
That's a whole day ahead.
ahead, yes. I'm
What the
living in
heck?
the future.
Yeah, I live in Hawaii. So it's like,
So
that's,
Monday,
yeah, it's 22 hours ahead. I've never had that before. That's bizarre.
22.
Wow. Well, um, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Um,
I, to be honest, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm new to the group. So I just want to learn as much and networking as much as I can.
yeah. Well, you're nailing it. I, um, I do this quite often, so I meet all sorts of people. Actually, some in the Better Life Tribe, some outside. So, yeah, I don't have any agenda. I don't need anything from you. I just give my time to people in case they might, like you said, want to meet somebody new and network a little bit and practice. I
Yeah.
know a lot of people are shy, so they're just like, oh, okay, one person's not so scary. Um, so, yeah.
Um, so what do you do? Because I've seen you helping the tribe. I'm I'm new to all this, so I'm not sure what I can make the most out of the community and the group.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think a lot of it starts with, like, what do you want? Which is way harder to answer than people realize. I mean, when you're 20, you think that's easy. I want to be rich and famous. And when you're 30, you're like, okay, that's immature. And then I just turned 40 and I'm like, actually, I don't know what I want. So it gets harder as you get older. And then I think understanding who you are, what you're good at, and what you're not good at, and then
Mm,
take the first piece with what do you want, what are you bad at, and find the people that are good at the thing you're bad at that want to do the same thing.
mm,
Now, yeah, I mean, it's way harder than it sounds, but those ideas, like what do I want to do, and what parts of it, what do I want to accomplish, and what parts of it do I not want to do, and then just sort of find those people that want to do the same thing as you, but they like all the things that you hate doing. If you can, like, if you can do that in a nutshell, you can go pretty far.
okay. So I'm flipping in Australia,
Okay.
interstate, and I've seen a lot of podcasts and YouTubes like Brennan Turner, David Green, or Bigger Pockets and Rookie, and I see it like America real estate is so much advanced than Australia. Like I love Burr strategy, and I'm using Burr strategy here. Uh, just done my first one, and not many people aware of that here. So I'm just like, how can I learn from what you do in America and just apply it here in Australia?
Yeah, I don't know anything about Australia. So I can give you a little background on America. We did something very interesting here in 1950 after World War II. Um, Almost all of Europe, Poland, France, Germany, Britain, Russia, Japan, planet's all in ruins, right? All the first world nations are in ruins. And America's like, well, Pearl Harbor's a wreck, but other than that, nothing happened here. And so we spent probably 40 years building houses and giving out cheap debt to fund them. So I don't know if that's similar in other countries, but for us, that's like basically became what we call the American dream, which is like, you can basically, the idea was almost any family can buy a reasonable home and on a single income. I mean, it's not really the case anymore, but that was the idea, and it was born out of just this never before seen volume of house production and the debt that went with it. And that's all kind of slowing down and changing now, and people don't understand why, but it's not what it used to be. But that being said, it lends itself to what you mentioned, which is we have a very sophisticated system because we've just been doing it for so long to such a high volume. So there will probably be things that we do that just don't exist in other countries. Like we have the Fannie Mae debt system. So the government basically says we'll subsidize loans. We'll get easy, anybody can get a loan with like 5% down or 3% down. So it's just there's stuff like that that exists. And but I don't know much more than that how to compare. But I'd be curious, like, are there not Australian real estate investors that you could learn from and flippers that are local or somewhat local?
Yeah, no, I'm connect to a lot of local real estate investor, flippers, developer. So I'm coached by one for flipping. But the thing is, I don't flip in local area. I flip interstate as well. So I'm from Melbourne and I flip in Queensland, which
Okay.
is like on the other side. So I'm trying to do interstate, and the inspiration I got from what I just watch on YouTube. I see people from America can do it out of state. I can do it too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I learned. I just got the book from Brandon and all the book out of state investing from Brandon, and start from there. But not many people doing it here. So I just find it difficult to like ask somebody here that've done it and just follow them. Like what Brandon was saying, just copy them.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm like, okay, I'll just connect with America people who done it and just probably copy the system and the processes and try to apply it here.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of out of state burr. Um, my approach towards things are always people, 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 people. So, find people who have deals, find people who have money, find a bank who will, lend you debt, and then get the people with the money to buy the deal from the person who has the deal. Get a contractor to fix it up, and then get a bank to give you the money, to lend you the money afterwards, and then find a property manager who'll get a tenant.
Yep. Yep.
So,
So I've done all that.
mhm.
So I've purchased four four properties, interstate, buy and hold. So I've got six right now. That interstate, and so I've done start with long term buy and hold, and then next I'll just get some renovation, just small renovations, to add value and get a better tenant and better rent.
Sure.
After that, I thought, okay, I can use the flipping strategy to add to it, which is using Burr strategy. I've done that for my fifth investment property. And then my sixth one, I'm actually doing it right now, and I'm just using the flipping strategy to see if I can make some money out of it. Because the more I listen to people, I said, okay, how many properties you can hold, and do you have to work to pay all the maintenance and all the, because it's hard to find cash flow here in Australia, especially in the
Um,
interest rate
yeah.
environment. And it's hard in America as well.
Yeah. It can be, yeah. Well, it's gotten harder for sure. Um, yeah,
So strategy change from time to time. I'm like, all right, I can't buy and hold, so I just whatever I just do flip,
yeah.
make some money, and when the interest rate better, then I can go back to buy and hold.
Yeah. I tried flipping. I don't have any good advice. I gave up on it really quickly. But they're very different business models, so I guess it just depends on what you like doing. I found flipping for me was very hard and stressful. But that's
Me
just me.
too. Come on. I'm on my second one. I understand exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, this is a hard way to make 30 grand, you know? Um, volume. Everybody I know who does flipping well does it at volume. It's not the
Yeah.
30 grand, it's you're doing 15 of them. And so then
Mm.
it's, you know,
Yeah.
it's 450 grand a
Mm.
year. So, yeah, I don't have any good advice there. I mean, it sounds like you're doing good. If you got a bunch
I
already,
just don't know how I'm gonna go from here. Like I'm just do I because I still don't understand. Do I focus on flipping business or do I just focus on the burr strategy, which just buy and hold and just buy investors, find money partners, private lending?
yeah, it's a good question. I think a lot of people are going through that same question. The What happened was real estate was all underpriced for a long time, and now the cat's been out of the bag for a while, and so prices are up. Then interest rates come up, and it's taken a little while for prices. They didn't settle, so now prices are high and rates are high, and so people are all looking around, going like, "Do I pivot? Do I wait? Do I just focus?" I think with real estate, it's overall, I think it's much better as a place to stash cash than it is to create cash. So if you only have one kind of real estate, then I would say it's better as a buy and hold asset. But now you need something that makes money. So that's where a lot of people go to flipping. They're like, okay, the flipping will stack the cash and then you'll stick it into rentals. Sometimes that works, sometimes it's hard because what happens is it's such a cash intensive business. Every time you get cash with a flipping business, you're like, I just need to hold it in there. And I've not been able to be successful at either. So what do I know? Or certainly haven't been successful in flipping, but definitely there's a place where having active and passive income, having both
Yeah.
it makes things work a lot better. Having just one, if you're like, okay, well, this property doesn't cash flow, but it'll appreciate over the years, you're like, that's great, but I don't have any money to feed this bleeding thing. So
Yeah.
people get in that bind a lot. So I get it. I don't know what the right answer is, unfortunately.
Because I did ask that question with Brandon before I joined, and I still have the same question like, should I buy and hold or should I flip? Um, a lot of a lot of people that I gather that questions is maybe just have two strategy at the same time. So if the property is cash flow, then you hold, and if property not cash flow, then you flip.
Yeah,
And that
a lot of people do that.
probably, yeah, and that probably that's something I should consider. And but the thing is, it's hard to cash flow now, so I guess I just have to flip until until I find the really good deal, and then I could hold it.
Yeah, both of those require one thing that would be very valuable if you get good at it, which is finding deals. So if you just get good at finding deals, then you can decide. And if they don't make money or they don't make that much money, but they still make a little bit and you don't want to deal with it, you can wholesale them. You can sell them to somebody
Mm.
else.
Mm.
So I think that on a higher level, if you're just like, okay, I'm just going to work on machines that help me find deals,
Yeah.
that
That's
can solve
where
all your
that's
problems.
where I think I'm gonna focus on. There's a lot of deal finder, a lot of system that in America I can see that people are using to find leads, but I can't see it in Australia yet.
That's good. Well, yeah, that's good. Some of the stuff might not be. I just don't know. I don't know how the systems are different. There's a lot of things in America that are public record that I just don't know if they're public record in Australia. And there's a lot of things in the United States that we can do, like, you know, you can blast people's email address. You can freaking my phone goes off all the time, every day, 10 times a day. I get phone calls. Can I buy your house? 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 So it's all public record. So that's how a lot of those lead machines work. I don't know the rules in Australia. It might be the same, but if you can figure out how to make that machine work and find your own deals. That's the real. That's where the real
Yeah.
value is. Otherwise, you're
Yeah.
just like, then you have all the exit strategies. You can wholesale it, you can flip it, you can, sit on it, you can seller finance it, you can Airbnb it, you can do anything you want as long as you have a deal that's like, okay, this is under, I got it under what it's worth. I got some room. But if you're just,
Yeah.
buying deals, it's worth 100 grand and you paid, 95, it's like, it's no deal. You got to get a discount.
Okay. Yep. So I just have to figure it out what system do I use, what strategy do I use to find deals.
Yeah. Have you, I assume you've Googled this, but I wonder like Australian real estate wholesaling. Here you go. Here's a guy. How I made $100,000 from virtual wholesaling in Australia. Yeah. Wholesaleproperties.com.au. Yeah, this exists.
Is it? Also, so what's the guy name?
A lot of them.
So what did you search?
Australia real estate wholesaling. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm just Googling it, but
Yeah. Okay, I'll have a look because I know people doing wholesaling here, we call it options. We don't call wholesale.
yeah, same thing.
Same thing. They call option.
Yeah. And the option is like I sell you the right to, I buy from you the right to sell. So it's like, hey, we're going to do a contract, and in 30 days, I can buy it, or I can reassign the contract, and somebody else has to buy it. That's an option. I mean, yeah, it's an option.
Okay,
Yeah, um,
I'll have a look. Yeah, I'll have a look.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know anyone in Australia. I know one Australian guy that lives in New Jersey here. um, so I don't know it, but there's definitely going to be some differences that are going to be important for sure.
Yeah.
But if it's legal, if it's possible, somebody's got it figured out. I guarantee.
No, I know a group that doing options, but they don't do options for renovations, but they do options for development. So
Okay.
they just buy site, and they just do DA on it. They get options and they on sell it to the developer. So it's similar to wholesaler, but it's just
Okay.
different. Yeah, just different reason.
Yeah. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Yeah, I just don't know it. Also, like my Google is set to America, so like it's just not even going to give me the right results. It's going to give me yeah, weird results.
Yeah,
But you said you have some friends or you have a group in Australia
yeah.
that knows it. Yeah.
Knows the options. Yeah, they.
Yeah. I mean, you've done a bunch. It sounds like there's definitely, I'll say this, as you get better at this and you understand more, you start to look at things and like you're asking these questions now, you're like, oh, well, how do I actually do this at more scale, or how do I do it more efficiently? So you start asking more sophisticated questions, and then the pool of people who can teach you gets smaller. Because like most people don't have five properties. I mean, like that puts you in the reality, and in the real estate investing world, in the Brandon Turner world, you're like, oh, that's good. In like the rest of the world, that's like 0.01% most successful real estate investors. So the
Mm,
small, like you try to get like I want to get from 5 to 10, 5 to 20, it starts to get much smaller. So it's just a matter of like digging a little bit deeper.
yeah, yeah. No,
Also,
I'm learning and asking. I'm learning and asking questions every day.
yeah,
What I don't understand, and just ask people who've done it. Yeah, I find it really interesting connecting to American people because you sound so much advanced. Like it's like I've seen so much over there than here. One of my renovation coach, he's flipping and he made 1 million net profit last year. He's teaching me, but he's flipping in his local area, like just 1 hours away. But for me, I don't want to go that high range because I'm in Melbourne. It's like 1 million price range here, and I don't want to do that high to start with. So I'm just go interstate and start with 200K or 250K
Yeah, that's
price
okay.
range. For me, at least if I can't sell it, I can rent it out, hold it for another 6 months, and that's what I did exactly with my. So I just sold my number fifth after 6 months. Yeah, and I made like 80K net profit.
Good for you.
And
Yeah.
I feel like I can do this again and again,
Yep.
but then
You can.
I just need to find system processes so I can make it easier for myself. I don't have to do it manually every time.
Yep.
That's why I'm in the group and looking for some people that have done the system processes before and apply that and do that in here.
You should talk to my friend Becca.
What
She's in
is
the
it?
tribe. My friend Becca, you should talk to her. She's good at that.
Yeah. Becca, what's her surname?
Peachy?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
She's in Better Life. She's in the tribe. And she's great and she's
Okay.
good at exactly that. And I'll tell you
Oh,
what, just another thing. What you asked, like, hey, I can do this, but now I need like a system to be able to scale it. It is the hardest part for 99% of people. Most people, myself included. I can do real estate. I got a bunch of real estate. I can, but building systems so that
mm,
I can do more than one person's worth of work has been very hard for me. I'm still trying, but
yeah.
if you can lock that up, if you can figure that out, that's the secret. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
systemizing what you do.
Yeah, no, that's the thing that I'm always looking for how to set it up from beginning. Because I think I can do this in the market I'm in now, but I just need to find something that make it scalable. I think
Yeah,
that's the questions. Yeah, how do I make how do I scale it?
Y- yeah, you got the right question. It's just hard. Yeah, and I'm in the same boat. So like, I'm not sure I'm that useful, but at least you know you're not alone. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, no, I love to learn because it's good when you learn somebody. You might find that answer later on, and there you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
it's one thing. Yeah, what I've been doing this year for my business is just trying to start writing down all the things, especially things that get done over and over again, and then putting it
yeah,
on like I use Notion, so now I
yeah,
have like basically a Wikipedia of all our like goals, our tasks, things that get repeated, how everything works, and then you can start plugging people in. And I'm not good at it yet, but that's what I'm trying to work on. So it's same exact boat. I'm like, how do I make this reliable and repeatable?
yeah. Cool. So, what do you do, Alex?
I am a real estate investor turned camera creator. So I moved out here to Hawaii last year when Brandon, I helped him start the Better Life Tribe, and then I created the new podcast.
Mm,
You want to put
okay.
on video
Yeah. Yep. Yep. I've just watched the latest one. It's so inspiring.
with Brian?
Yes.
Yeah, Brian's
Yeah.
cool people.
Very, very inspiring.
Yeah, he's like
That's something
26.
I want my husband to follow because I want my husband to become a business coach. And I know he's good at that, but he's someone that doesn't want to join a course or like he doesn't want to pay someone. He just figured it out himself and
Yeah. Um, I feel that. I
And
feel that.
I'm thinking if I can get my husband to join Brian course, I think that will be valuable because you just make it way faster.
Yeah.
And
Being around people that can just teach you what they know instead of you having to figure it all out yourself is just,
yeah, yeah,
it's like reading
yeah,
books. It's like, yeah, you can go figure out how to learn how the world works, but somebody's already written it all down. Just go read what they
yep,
wrote. You can get 40 years worth of knowledge in 5 hours.
yep,
Yeah.
yep. For me, yeah, very different. I've done a lot of courses.
Yeah.
I
Well,
start 2 years and I've done a lot of courses, so I can understand it. I feel I jumped so quick every courses
yeah.
I've done. So
That's that's men's egos. That's men's egos. Yeah. You're not going to fix that. We all got it. It's a big problem. Yeah.
but I'll try. I'll send him that YouTube video. So I said, watch this.
Yeah, if you can get around people that are doing it, man, everything goes faster. It's not easy, but
I
man,
can
doing it
see,
alone.
I can see it. I can see it's so much valuable for the money you pay. It's just well worth it. I've done business. I've run a small business before, and I understand how business work. You got to pay money to make money. You have to spend money to make money. You can't just have like information for free or services for free. So yeah, that's my some courses like 10K. I'm happy to pay for it if I know that I can make 20K back.
It's an investment.
That's good investment. For me,
Yeah,
it's just
100%.
low. I just don't understand why people just hesitant to pay for courses.
Yeah. Um, there's a lot of scams out there, so I
Yeah.
get it. There's a lot of scams out there. I understand. Also, I don't pay for courses, but I will pay for to be around the right people. I will pay for access to people. So that's why I like the tribe, just because
Mm.
there's so many people that have done so much in this group.
Yep.
But I understand. I would understand somebody's apprehension for courses, but communities definitely pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Thank you
it
so
sounds like you're
much.
going to do good.
I'm connecting to a few friends from tribes, so that's a win.
Yeah, it's great. We got great people. Are you in a pod yet?
Yeah, yeah, I'm in a pot.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah, it was good. My second pot meeting yesterday, so it was good.
Nice, nice. You just joined the group, the tribe?
I just joined, yeah, for 2 weeks.
Oh man, yeah, you're all over it, dude. You're gonna do good. You're moving. You know what the problem is that you're moving fast, and just you're gonna have a hard time finding people that are moving that fast, and that's a good problem.
No, I love it. I love connecting and learning new things. I've I have a problem with that now, I think, because I'm so passionate about learning new things, especially property, investing. I just don't stop. My brain just don't stop. That's the problem.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's just not everybody does it that way. So you're like, you know, you're gonna be the odd man out, but that's okay. That's okay. That's the whole point of getting ahead is you want to like live a different life than most. So you kind of have to get used to that, feeling like a weirdo, feeling like I think I'm doing the right thing, even though I'm kind of doing it alone, and it's a little harder. But yeah, you're doing the right thing. You're on the right track. You're finding the right people. You're asking the right questions. So you're gonna do great.
Thank you.
You're gonna
Thank
do
you.
great.
That's good to hear. Yeah, good to
Yeah,
hear.
it's just hard, and it never
Yes.
goes as fast as you want. You know, most people never get 5 properties, and you're like, I got a couple properties, but why can't I get more? It's not enough. I want to get more. So like, you're just on this path that's gonna make you um not lonely in a bad way, but it's going to be more, you're going to be more of an individual because you're like, okay, there's just not that many people that have 20 properties. Very few. So you're like, oh, I got to go by myself.
Yeah, just so I think that's where I am now. I just how do I go from 5 to 10?
Yeah.
That's and
Yeah.
whether or not do I want to hold property in America or property in Australia? Because I
Yeah.
just feel America is good for cash flow.
Yeah. I, I hesitate to tell people when you're like, I see this all the time when they're like, hey, I can't invest in my market, so I'll go to this other market and it'll just be better. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes that's true. But a lot of times it's just you don't know that market, so you don't know those troubles. And it's easy to look over there and be like, it's kind of like relationships. You're like, look at that one's better over there. I want that one. And you're like, that one's a pain in the ass too. You'll find out once you get to know that one better. And so I think about it with like, maybe if you invest in California where a house is $1.5 million and it rents for $3,000 a month and you can't make any money. And so that makes sense. But if you're in North Carolina and you're like, hey, I can't invest in North Carolina, so I'm going to go to Ohio. And I'm like, they got problems there too. It's not like there's nobody figured out that there's money made in Ohio. So I don't know if US is better than Australia, but we got investors here, a lot of them, millions of them that are trying to scoop up property and willing to pay for it and competing just like you guys do. So I don't know if it's better, but I can tell you the grass is not
Greener on the other side.
greener just because, again, and it might be in some places, it's kind of like I know people, like if you wanted to do business on Maui, it's very hard, like where I live, right? The houses are very expensive. There's not that many of them. It's hard to get contractors to show up to work. And it's just hard. And yet some people do find deals and do flips and whatnot. So it's the same thing in California. I mean, people are like, you can't invest in California. And I'm like, I do know people that do it. So wherever you're at, you can make it work. It's just a matter of, to what
I
degree
think
and
yeah, no, that's my answer, my question then, because I sometimes I just have to stick to what I know and be better at it.
what you know is valuable. If you come to America, it's like, dude, you got a whole different, I mean, you speak the language, but but I mean, you got a whole different culture. You got a whole different set of laws and rules and regulations that you're going to learn, and then you're going to start getting in the weeds, and you're going to find out real quick. It's like I don't know. It's hard here too, and now you're at a big disadvantage because you don't know the markets, and getting here is harder if you wanted to come here. So I'm not trying to talk you out of it. Just like if you have market knowledge, you have an experience, and you're just like, hey, it's hard. Going to a different country is not gonna that ain't gonna be easier. If they're like, hey, if the state of Australia suddenly goes, everybody can only own one property, you can't own more than one property, then you're like, okay, now I have to go to the states, something like that. But as long as unless they like drastically change the rules, it's like it's hard everywhere, and you have an advantage in Australia, even though it doesn't seem like it because you're probably running up against other investors and people, and you're like, this is brutal. It's brutal here too.
That makes sense. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
I just have to find how do I scale it and just yeah, just set up my own system and processes so I can scale for my market and yeah, just what I know.
Yeah. Also, it is a tough time for real estate. I mean, from 2012 to 2020, it was like super easy. And then the last few years, it got tough. And it might be tough for a little while. And then at some point, it'll get easy again. So don't change everything. The market's going to do this. So if you can kind of just focus and be like, hey, it's hard right now. It is what it is. It's less fun because you're not going to be buying as many deals and all this other stuff. But just stay focused. And I'm guilty. I'm not that focused. But if you can just stay focused, like it works out in the long run. Real estate will get more lucrative again, like it was. It's just hard right now for everybody.
Okay. Good to know. That I'm not alone.
You are not. No, it's you. Everybody. It's hard for everybody right now.
So yeah, okay, I'll get in touch with Becca. Um, I I I I heard one of the rookie podcasts. One lady I know that she's talking about setting up her own process and system in flipping, but I just can't get in touch with her.
Who is it? Do you know?
Can't remember the name now. I'll find it out. It might take a while.
Yeah,
Um,
just
I
send it to me.
emailed her, but I haven't. Yeah, so I
Well,
think
I know
she's the
everybody,
right
so maybe I
one.
can get you in touch.
Yeah. I think she's the right one for me, because she start from the beginning. Like she just write down what she needs, and like you said, repeatable. Um, uh, what is it like? All the jobs, all the schedule, and like everything from the start, and then just work from there. Um,
Nice. Yeah.
I I
Systems.
can't remember her name on top of my
It's
head.
okay.
So maybe she's in tribe. Who knows?
Maybe, yeah. Send me the name. I bet you I know everybody. We'll see if I know her.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right,
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
so much.
I'm gonna get out of here. Hey, it was so good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much for your time.
Dude, I love talking to people. Hopefully I can be useful.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Hang tight, don't leave.